Why do growing businesses love working in Slack? Let's ask Christy at Ari Bikes.
Running things in Slack saves me so much time.
AI summaries save 97 minutes per week. What say you, Rox from Gosney?
Slack helps us build community, it helps us build connection.
Your partners, vendors and customers all in one place. Take us on home, Ashley from Caraway.
If we didn't have Slack tomorrow, I would explode.
Well, let's not let that happen. Visit slack.com/podcast to get 50% off Slack Business Plus.
Remember when James Cameron nearly directed a Spider-Man movie?
What about when we almost got Batman Year One with Joaquin Phoenix?
Or David Goyer's Flash movie that would have starred Ryan Reynolds?
Well, if you want to learn about all the unmade superhero movies, then check out Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
Hosted by Ben Wan and Alex Ramsey, every month we cover nostalgic superhero movies with deep dives into unmade scripts, early drafts, deleted scenes, alternate cuts, concept art, novelizations, and tie-in novels.
We also interview the people involved in making the superhero films of our childhood, with our past guests including superhero actors, directors, screenwriters, and concept artists.
So remember, that's Superhero Stuff You Should Know, or Superhero SYSK on social media. Check us out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
I am your host, Stassi Schroeder. Welcome to Tell Me Lies, the official podcast. What's the most unhinged thing of season 3?
Steven, because he's so evil.
I do think he is misunderstood.
You see everyone face consequences. It's intoxicating.
The writers just know how to trick you.
There's always a twist in this show. It's nothing you would expect.
Tell Me Lies, the official podcast, January 6th, and stream the new season of Tell Me Lies January 13th on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Katie, we are finally at the conclusion of our first annual 5 Iron February. We talked about upbeats and beatdowns. We were joined by 5 Iron's drummer, Andy. Then we talked about our newest album ever, and we are joined by the guitarist who, despite what the album says, was very prompt on his show up here.
3 minutes early, I might say.
So
I was like, ooh.
Maybe they shamed him. I don't know. Micah, welcome to Christian Cringe.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
I mean, we'll start with that. Like, the Where Is Micah thing, was that... I'm now starting to wonder if it was a sarcastic song about how prompt you always were.
No, not really. I mean, there was times where I knew where I was at and that was good enough for me. So
now, similar to Andy, you have basically been in 5 Iron since day one because you were in the band before 5 Iron, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
What was the transition like from going from like as a guitarist specifically going from like industrial heavy metal type stuff to a lot of upstrokes? Was that like a weird transition for guitar playing, or were you kind of ready for it?
Well, so what's funny is I never transitioned in that respect. Like I never play the upstrokes. Like when that happens, I stop playing.
No way.
Literally, yeah.
That's either Keith or Sonny or Scott's job, basically.
Yeah. Sonny now does that, and then like he'll like I basically beef up the heavy parts.
But you know what? I think that's again, and we're not going to do anything where we're like punching down on other ska bands, both Christian or not. But something that I think 5 Iron was able to do, maybe not as much on upbeats, but definitely from this album and beyond, was like that healthy blend of like not just ska punk, but like you have a little bit of heavy metal in this, and later albums you almost get into like world music blending. Like you guys really kind of played around with different genres. Were you a big ska person, or were you kind of the metalhead of the band? Really,
metalhead of the band. Actually, well, I mean, being that we started as a metal band, like me, Reese, Keith, Scott, we were all metalheads, you know.
Yeah.
So and then we did in the metal band we did a cover of Amy Grant's song that had like a ska feel to it in the middle of it, which was Everywhere I Go, which ended up on that first record. And it was just, you know, as fast as we could play punk rock with the ska thing in the middle. And whenever we play that as the the metal band before Five Iron, we'd get a reaction that was like, "Whoa, these guys like this sound." So we're like, let's play with that ska sound a little bit and see what happens. That's really how that birthed Five Iron.
That makes a lot of sense, and I love that. Um, Now, we've talked with Andy about this a little bit, but I think it falls more into this timeline than the Upbeats timeline. This was around when you guys did Ska Against Racism as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
How I know Andy spoke very highly of how influential that was on him as like a humbling experience. Of the way he described it was, we were the only Christian band on that tour, but I found many of the bands to be more Christian than even I was myself
Mm-hmm.
at that point. Do you feel like you also was that an Andy specific emotion, or was that kind of an emotion across a lot of the bands of, hey, there's some really great people that are on this tour doing great things, and kind of like a humbling the holier than thou attitude that I think teens, unfortunately, just like teens and 20-year-olds in the Christian scene, kind of get slammed into this holier than thou attitude. Do you think that was kind of across the board for everyone?
Maybe for some folks, like for me, it wasn't necessarily that way.
Yeah.
Like just I was just being me, and that's just who I am,
Yeah.
And so I didn't look down on anybody, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They were just other bands to me. So
Well,
I don't know.
something that I love about Five Iron, and it's what I love about you on your internet persona as well. A persona is a weird word to use there, but the way you present yourself on the internet, like Five Iron, Katie. So a little bit about Katie, who's my co-host on the show. Not really a lot of experience with Five Iron, but when we
Sure.
were doing this episode, she actually said something that I thought is worth bringing up again, which is, she said, "I think if I had had this band in my life as a kid, I'd still be a Christian today."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna put a few words in your mouth, Katie, but I guess you can expand on this a little bit more. Was like, I always felt like Five Iron was the band that made you feel okay to have opinions that may be contradictory to what the church is telling you sometimes, and that you're allowed to question things, and you're allowed to put human, basically kind of the red letter Christian idea of like, we're supposed to take care of people, and having these songs like Banner Year and Old West, and these songs very early on in your records pushing a very specific, this is where we stand, which I think still is the case with all of you. I see what you post online. Like, you are still very vocal about human rights issues
Yeah.
across the board. Was that kind of like, was that talked about within the band from the very beginning? Like, this is the statement we feel like we need to be making? Or was that a lot of just Reese taking the reins, and thankfully most, if not all of you, are on board with what he has to say?
Yeah, honestly, I think that second option where Reese kind of just take the reins and stuff, and I don't have anything that I'm not. To me, it's not antithetical to me, like what I believe, So
Yeah.
I have no problem. I'm not going to fight him on it, whatever. Some of the stuff that, and to be honest, like I've never really been a lyric guy. Like throughout the band, a lot of times I talk about how we practice these songs for months and months. The record gets recorded, the record comes out. I'm opening up the lyric sheet and like, oh, this is what we're saying. Okay, cool. So like the vocals have always just been like another instrument to me. So what's weird about that is just recently, as the world seems to be falling apart, the lyrics are like ghosting up to the surface of my head, and I'm like out of the subconscious, like little lines. I'm like, what is this line, whatever. So I go in. Oftentimes, like I do with the Bible, I'll go in and like reread the lyrics. Like, what is this applicable to today?
Right.
And oftentimes it is, and oftentimes it even more so is now than it was when we put it out in the first place.
Is there
which is
any
really weird to me.
particular set of lyrics right now that's kind of just repeating in your head that you can't like let go of right now?
I mean, as far as the old songs or new songs, or
It doesn't matter.
Any of
Any
them.
of them, really.
any, like what's the American Kryptonite is one of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and that I don't know if you know the lyrics to that one, but it's like again, I'm not a lyric guy, so
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
I mean, the new stuff is really heavy
yeah,
hitting. I've been thinking a lot about In Through the Outdoor with
yes,
a
totally.
lot of the
That's
situations that's happening right now.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Tyrannus is another one. While Supplies Last is one of them.
Mm.
we
Um,
one of the ones that kind of struck us, and it ties to you a little bit because I think, unless I'm misremembering, do you now sing the Andy's part in Fistful of Sand whenever you guys
yeah.
perform that live?
Hmm.
The lyrics immediately after your part, right? So there's the plastic bags of Novocaine, PCP to kill the pain to build.
Mm.
When we were
Yeah,
breaking down these lyrics, when we got to the lyric, the masses cheer to hide their fears that no man lives forever. Like,
yeah,
we were
Yeah.
like, if
So
that
chills.
doesn't raise a couple like images in your head of the last 12 years in a
yeah,
really eerie kind of way.
yeah,
And it's sad. It's sad and it's scary that these lyrics are still, even from 95 and 96,
yeah,
feeling accurate and resonating.
yeah.
Is It's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing at all. Yeah, like, and when the early records came out, a lot of it just felt very like just like disjointed thoughts, you know. And
Yeah.
and reading it now, it's like, oh, there's like a thread through
There's a
this.
total theme, yeah, and it
Yeah.
it feels like it's the anthems for
Hmm.
2025, which is
Yeah,
wild to me.
yeah. It's wild to me too. Yeah.
Now, something that I think was very unique with, and we'll tie this to one of the songs on this album. You've got Handbook for the Sellout, which is,
Yep.
as we've been told by Andy, is definitely a song responding to how people reacted to MXPX
Hmm.
having mainstream success. I always felt like you guys also maybe weren't like all over MTV, but even in like the ska and punk scene where people would not hesitate to make fun of the corniness of Christian music, you guys always felt like one of those like exceptions to the rule. Did you ever feel like there was like a CCM backlash towards that? I know you guys were very devoted to your like splitting your touring time as much as you could to not just only play to the church
Christian
crowd.
rock sense, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we definitely came from the church, but grew up in the clubs, you know.
Yeah.
So like,
Nice.
That's a great way to put it. I love
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
yeah. So like, both worlds sort of felt natural to us to be in. Um, the church world felt less and less natural for us to be in as the time moved forward. Um,
Why was that?
I think because there's been this shift in the church that from what we were taught to what they are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you guys start to first notice that? It sounds like on tour.
I started noticing the early '90s, sorry, probably mid '90s, and I had a relative talk about how it was during Christmas, and it was like the phrase uh, joy, peace on earth, goodwill toward men.
Right.
That's a very Christmas thing.
Yeah.
And this person brought up, the rest of that verse is for those who believe. So it really it differentiates, Christians from everyone else. And
Totally.
and I was like, this doesn't feel like the Spirit of God right now.
No.
And
Mm.
so I went down to my room and got my Bible and pulled out the verse, and I was like, this version doesn't say that. Like,
Yeah.
so is this blasphemy? Are you telling me what I'm reading right here is blasphemy? And it just lit me up. Like, yeah,
It's
Mhm.
really so Katie and I both were at a friend's wedding that was officiated by John Fogelsang. I'm not sure if
hmm
you're familiar with John
hmm
at all. But one of John's claim to fames was way back when on Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher. He had a debate with, oh my God, now I'm blanking on who it was, but he was blanking with an extremely like right wing Christian nationalist person. And
yeah,
the thing with John is that his parents both met each other when they were on the missions field. And he's like,
mhm,
listen, he's like, the thing that a lot of those people don't know is how to battle another person who also knows the Bible like the back of their hand.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And he's like, and that was like his thing. Like anytime that the person who he was debating, and I'm so annoyed I can't remember who it was now, would take a verse out of context, he would just immediately quote what was the line after that verse.
Was it David
Yeah.
Duke?
Which one?
Was he debating David Duke?
I don't think it was David Duke.
Okay.
But it wouldn't shock me if he didn't also like John's wild. But yeah, I love the idea though that you like ran down and grabbed a Bible, like, because I feel like I've gotten to that point where I've been so beaten down by the opinions of my family that I just kind of ostrich into the sand at a certain point where I'm just like, it's just going to be another fight that's like not going to change anybody's mind. But like the idea of like, you know what? No, I'm going to pull out the verse and I'm just going to show this to you and let's have this conversation. Like, kudos to you. I love that.
No, and especially like, do you remember how old you were at that point that you were like, I'm going to go double check this reference
I was
point?
17.
That's
17
amazing.
or 18,
That's amazing. I love that. But that again goes to like, you know, Andy talked about this with us with Upbeats, where like you start that album with Old West, and he was saying like in his memory, as much as 5 Minute Walk kind of let you guys do whatever you wanted, that there was this feeling of like maybe it shouldn't open the album, like maybe like maybe it should be hidden deeper in there, and that kind of collectively the band was like, no, we want to make sure that from the very first second you put on this record, you get where our stance is.
Yeah.
And there's plenty. I mean, you come back to the themes of Old West on this album too with Banner Year. And it's not the last time you come to this theme of, you know, as much the amount of times that the album on your albums in Banner Year, there's that line, a piece of cloth can't hold your faith. Like that overly American patriotic Christian thing is like a full contradiction of itself.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're going to have any answers to this because I know you didn't write this one and you said you're not a lyrics guy, but there was one song that we were feeling like there might be a story behind it. Is most likely to succeed about someone in particular? Because that is a biting song lyrically.
If it is, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like when we were reading the lyrics on the episode, we were just like, who is this about? Because someone clearly wronged this band in a big way.
Yeah. I mean, I think it. I think we've all known somebody like that, you know.
Yes,
so it sort of rings true to a lot of people. So I think it's more just a lyrical personification of, you know, people we all know. So
that makes sense. That makes a ton of sense. Now, where is the journey? Like when you think of the band, where's your own personal journey on this? I guess as you know, are you still that 17-year-old that's running down, grabbing the Bible verse and kind of pointing to it and saying, explain to me why mine is different?
I'm like, honestly, I just feel like I've been along for the ride for a lot of it. Like I seriously, like as a little kid, I always wanted to play music, mostly because I just like music and something about it connects with me on a deeper level, you know. And that's really it. And then beyond that, it was like, I'm just going to be available in a youth group kid kind of sort of way.
Yeah.
I'm going to be available to be used by God, wherever, whatever that means. I'm not going to go out of my way to be the guy, you know, whatever. But my default is just to chill and hang out and see what strings are pulled at my heart, you know, in my mind, you know, and then to respond hopefully in the right way.
Yeah.
And I feel like like, you know, joining the band was a fluke. I was in a Christian bookstore and saw a flyer that Reese and Keith had put up there, and, you know, looking for a guitar player who, you know, does whatever, metal, hip hop, punk, you know. It was like some ridiculously long string of like styles or whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Why not? So mostly just feel like I've been dragged along, like,
but
that's pretty much it.
But you know what? Something that I think about a lot, and I bring this up with a lot of my friends when I'm talking about music, is like, there are 3-piece bands that haven't had the member consistency that Five Iron Frenzy has managed to have for all this time. So it's almost crazy to me that that the starting of this band involves one of the members responding to a flyer, because to me, my fantasy version was always just yeah, they're just best friends who decided to put a band together, because that's hard. I mean, that is hard to be an 8-piece band, and you've had
and
depending on how you want to look,
as teenagers.
as teenagers, and depending
Yeah.
on how you want to look at it, you've had 1 or 2 band member switches, because the second one was switching in the band member who left the first time back into the band.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
says a lot about the human connection and love and relationship that the 8 of you have. I mean, obviously one of the members is a relative of yours, but
Sure.
still, that's
Yeah.
did you, when you first met with Keith and Reese and Scott and Andy, was there just that I'm a big Muppets nerd, and there's a lyric in one of my favorite Muppet songs that Gonzo sings where he says they haven't made a word yet for best friends who just met, but was that kind of the feeling that you had, oh, I've finally found the people that are going to be my ride or die?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially so, going back again to being metalheads and even more, boiled down the Christian metalheads. That's a super niche
Very
thing.
niche, yeah.
Just to find somebody who is like that. Is I remember going to that Christian bookstore and being the only guy that I knew of that was into that music, and there was a lady behind the counter that was like, "Oh yeah, there's 2 other guys that come in here that also like this kind of music," and it ended up being Keith and Reese. So yeah, so
that invisible string theory sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm experiencing that right now with my girlfriend, where we were a year and a half as of Valentine's Day, but we keep stumbling into photos where you can find both of us at the same wedding.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Almost side by side, or at the same concerts and stuff like that, where it's just all right, so something was constantly tossing opportunities to us.
Yeah.
There could have been a world where you guys just bumped into each other in that bookstore, but it took a flyer to eventually connect you.
I mean, we were at the same concerts all the time too,
Yeah.
So
I love that so much.
Yeah.
What is it like being in a band with a relative? You and Leonor are obviously the only 2 people I could ask that question to.
Yeah. I don't know. She's like a bro,
Yeah.
So I don't know. She's cool, and she I don't know, what is it like having a big sister who's around. So
would you, because you 2 are cousins, right?
Second cousins.
Would you argue that being in a band together has definitely made you closer than if you weren't in a band together and were just family?
Yeah. I mean, when we first met, we didn't know that we were related.
No way.
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was it
So
the first band practice or something, or what happened?
No, she went to a church up in Greeley.
Okay.
And I was in Denver, and the church summer camp or whatever happened in the mountains where all the different churches around, and so we met each other there. And I can't remember how we figured it out, but yeah, she was like a punk rocker, and I was like a metal kid, and yeah.
I mean, the last name had to be a start.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Ortegas though.
That's true. Trust me, I'm a Matt Kelly. There's thousands of us roaming this planet. In high school or in college, there was literally a Facebook group that was just filled with over 1,000 Matt Kellys.
That's
it was just called the Matt Kellys Unite.
That's really funny. The only other Micah Ortega I know of is a tattoo artist in Ohio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I check in with every once in a while just to say, hey,
I'm Facebook friends with a few Matt Kellys that I've never hung out with. There was one person, I remember this too. In my freshman year of college, I got a message on MySpace from a girl whose name was let's say it was Sam Kelly or something like that. And she just said, "Are you coming to the parents' house for dinner tonight?" And I was like, I don't know who you are. And she was like, it's like, oh man, I messaged the wrong Matt Kelly from Penn State. I'm sorry.
That could have been anybody. That's
I
hilarious.
mean, truly.
My maiden name is Elsasser, and I found one Katie Elsasser on Facebook way back in the day, and I was just like, "Hey, are you also like Swiss?" And she's like, "I guess so." Was not as excited as I was. I was like, "Hey, we had the same name." Like, hey.
Didn't care.
No care whatsoever.
That's funny.
So on this particular album, we get two very unique songs, Micah. We get the Godzilla song and we get Kitty Doggy.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to ask, first of all, both these songs delighted Katie, who is a comedy person at heart. But like the Kitty Doggy starts off with Reese saying, "Welcome to our band practice." And I have to ask, how accurate is this to what the band practices were like at that time, or was this put on for the record?
No, this is band practice. It still is like that too. Like, yeah.
I'm understanding how you guys wrote all the songs for Cheeses of Nazareth now.
Oh yeah.
Because Katie, I don't know if we're going to get to that anytime soon, but feel free to try to track down. It's literally just as they were breaking up. It's like, what would you say, Micah? 40 songs that sound like Kitty Doggy, just like minute long.
Yeah, just whatever came to our mind. Like, here's okay. The chords are going to be this, and this, and let's go down that. And whatever comes out, and that was.
I mean, people go crazy for Pootermobile still. So
true, which is funny. Funny.
Yeah. Was there any one of those songs that was your particular favorite?
out of Cheeses, or out of those two?
Out of any of
them. I would just say out of the goofy short songs that came out of practice.
There's that one. It's our attempt at writing like a poppy song. It's on Cheeses, and it's like the lyrics are like, I feel pretty good today. This time I can feel it. Like it's very like
happy, fun, sunny.
Yeah, and like it has like kind of like drum machine kind of drum beats and stuff in it and stuff, and builds to it like what should be a chorus, and instead of doing a chorus, it's just a donkey.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah, you'll have, Katie, knowing your sense of humor, you'll have fun with that.
Man.
I have no doubt.
The one that I always get stuck in my head, because I would say I'd rank it pretty low on the overall Five Iron Frenzy album experience, but I get Mayonnaise Taco Monday stuck in my head on a regular basis.
Yeah. I mean, that was a hit.
That was one of the big ones. You go on the Five Iron Frenzy Facebook groups, people are still talking about Mayonnaise Taco Monday.
Yeah, true.
I have to bring up what is, I mean, obviously I feel you could argue your biggest hit, which is weird because I would say that Five Iron Frenzy captures my type of Christianity, which was the Christianity someone told me years ago, which was preach the teachings of Jesus all the time and only use your words when necessary.
Yep.
This idea of just like go out there and be a good person. And like if you really need to like resort to bringing in the Bible, go for it, but just like change people by being a changed person.
Yeah.
But Every New Day is arguably one of the like most overtly religious praise and worship songs in the band's entire catalog. And it seems like whether people are still religious or have lost their faith, this song still means so much to so many people. When you guys were writing this, was there any moment in the writing where you thought that this was like something special, or did it take until it was being played live for you to realize that you had like really touched on something with that song?
Yeah, I think it was a live thing. Definitely after the album came out, because people do get a chance to look at the lyrics, and let's face it, most live sound oftentimes is not very conducive to understanding what's being said.
Sure.
So Lyric Sheet is a friend of the punk rock scene for a while. But yeah, I think that after the record came out, I mean, it's very universal themes, like like with the man versus himself, man versus machine, mankind versus me. The troubles go on. You know, it's very. I mean,
it's that bridge. Reese was on a whole nother level on that bridge writing.
Yeah.
But I mean, even with the placement of where that song is, like it's almost like you knew when you wrote that song that you had written a closing song to a set in a weird way, because it just feels like now it feels weird if you don't play it at a show. As someone who was at one show where it didn't get played, I was like, that feels weird.
Yeah. Yeah, and the acronym for it as well.
Yeah. Oh, end. Oh, I didn't even piece that together until now. Every new day is shortened as end. Yeah. Was that intentional, or was that later on that you realized that?
I think it's when I was later on. Well, I think it's one of those later on things where we were doing set lists, you know, and like sometimes you abbreviate songs, and every new day was just END.
That's amazing. Oh, I never would have known
that. That's like a weird, chilling level of fate as well in that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you and your persona is very musical and just how you experience the world. I mean, you talked about like how you like to sit back and kind of just enjoy the moment and then like see what things pluck the strings of your heart, what resonates, you know, with you. Do you find that also in today, like just how you're living your life? It seems like even just writing these set lists, you're very musical in this like expression of it. Do you also experience that to this day?
Well, I got to give credit where credit due. That the set lists that we do live, Andy is he's the guy who does that. He cares about that, and so he puts his heart and his soul into that. So the order and the tempo and the energy throughout the set, that's him. So I can't take any credit for that. So.
That's okay. But like how you experience the world, like do you do that just like in normal social situations too? Is just kind of.
I think so. Yeah, I think so, and I think it's one. I think like I think I'm a little bit ADHD, and I think I'm a little bit like just barely like a little bit autism. So the two,
listen,
I think,
the other name for this podcast could have been a little bit of autism. Like,
it could have been this network's name too.
Honestly, the whole Geekscape network could just be called that instead.
We'll call it Touch of the Tisms. Yeah.
There you
go. We all got it. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that plays a big part into it. I mean, I think it plays a big part into it. I mean, do you guys do that too? Like,
I think I do. I think I especially with the music side of things, when we're talking about music, I was always someone who my passion for it certainly outweighed my talent for it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I could pick up a guitar, I could strum a couple chords, but like what that passion turned into was like deep diving into those lyrics books and really like finding the things that spoke to me. And now it's like I can't go through my day without music on in the background pretty much 24/7. When I'm editing, I've got music on. When I'm driving, music on. Like unless I literally need to shut it off to not bother other people around me, I have it there. But I think because it's there, it causes me to have that going with the flow of things, kind of carefree, but then like knowing when it's my place to speak up about something. Like I work to a musical beat almost.
Sure. Yeah. I used to do that. Like I don't do that. My life is surprisingly quiet. Like I don't have a whole lot of music going on, either at work or at home. Like it's I'm very intentional about it because I think for a while I was like with like Napster and like BitTorrent and stuff like that. It was easy to like just download the world's wealth of music, and I was always like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this because I've never heard it before, and I've seen the album cover a million times, and I get halfway through, and I'm like, this is terrible. Like I don't want to listen to it anymore. And
see, and I'll push through. I'll push through a show that I don't like. Like
always do that,
I'm like a completionist person where it's like, it's like, man, I really didn't like this Captain Beefheart album. It's a bummer that I have to listen to their whole discography. To no one's requirement but my own.
I know. And like, I got tired of punishing myself that way. I was like, I'm not enjoying music anymore, like, and so like I'd thrown my favorites list, which was like all my songs that I star or heart or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and like, oh, this is really good. Like, I like music again. Like,
Yeah.
Hey,
so
I mean, it
that-
does. It's tough, but then
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you want to find that balance, and that's where I'm struggling now. Is like now I've hit this point where I'm only listening to the stuff I'm familiar with, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, like Kendrick Lamar is blowing up, playing the halftime show, and I like haven't really checked into anything post To Pimp a Butterfly, and I'm like, well, now I gotta like play catch up on the last 10 years of this guy's career.
If you want a really great show, not to plug a podcast that's not on our network or anything, but there's a really great show called Dissect where he goes through the first album of Kendrick Lamar, and it's really well done.
Okay, cool.
Remember when James Cameron nearly directed a Spider-Man movie?
What about when we almost got Batman Year One with Joaquin Phoenix?
Or David Goyer's Flash movie that would have starred Ryan Reynolds?
Well, if you want to learn about all the unmade superhero movies, then check out Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
Hosted by Ben Wan and Alex Ramsey, every month we cover nostalgic superhero movies with deep dives into unmade scripts, early drafts, deleted scenes, alternate cuts, concept art, novelizations, and tie-in novels.
We also interview the people involved in making the superhero films of our childhood, with our past guests including superhero actors, directors, screenwriters, and concept artists.
So remember, that's Superhero Stuff You Should Know, or Superhero SYSK on social media. Check us out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Jonathan London of the Geekscape podcast, and I want to tell you all about the first official Geekscape comic book, Paul London, Hero of the Prophecy. This is equal parts sci-fi fantasy, comedic adventure, and pro wrestling entertainment told in a nostalgic style. If you're a fan of 80s films like Conan the Barbarian, Krull, Willow, the Beastmaster, and comedic mistaken identity movies like The Army of Darkness, Three Amigos, and Galaxy Quest, you're gonna love Paul London, Hero of the Prophecy. That's right, I wrote it about my younger brother Paul London, former WWE Cruiserweight and Tag Team Champion. But in this story, he's now washed up, down on his luck, and then magically transported across the universe to a distant planet of sword and sorcery. Once there, he's mistaken to be the hero of the prophecy, destined to free an entire kingdom from the evil sorcerer Ramzar. This is 26 pages of full-color pro wrestling fantasy comic book adventure. Podcast listeners, this is a comic for you. Go to herooftheprophecy.com to learn more. Paul London, Hero of the Prophecy.
I guess it's my version of FOMO. Is like, I don't want to miss out on what will be my favorite movie or TV show or whatever. And like, there are things where like, so I've talked about this on another podcast, and this is definitely a touch of the tism. But when I was at my peak of loving music, and this was maybe like 2002 or 3, I would make mixtapes of my least favorite songs from albums and like force myself to listen to it, because I was like, outside of this song, I love this album, and why don't I love this song? And it was almost like I was trying to force myself to love something.
Why are you
sometimes it works. But no, like
it's like your version of flailing yourself.
like look, a prime example was like on the Wedding Singer soundtrack. The only song I didn't like was Every Day I Write the Book by Elvis Costello. And now I would put Elvis Costello as like one of my all-time favorite musicians. Just like at 16, I wasn't prepared to understand the brilliance of what an Elvis Costello song actually is. But like in my head, I just thought, I know that these things go through checks and balances. Like I know that there's not just, here's the 12 songs we wrote in the record label, just like ships them off without like making sure that they're good. So like I was like, I must be missing something. I am the one that's at fault, not the song.
But like it's okay to like what you like and not like
no,
what you
100%.
Don't like.
Yeah, no, 100. I get that now. I'm talking about the 16-year-old mentality.
Oh, sure, okay,
for sure.
Really,
I'm not making those mixtapes. I'm not 40 making mixtapes of songs I hate.
I'm really glad, Matt. I really am glad to hear that. Micah, what was the one band or singer or someone that kind of brought you back into music?
Oh, Electric Guest.
Ooh, okay. What is
Yeah.
their whole deal?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
The song was let's see. It's funny because I was at that point I'd listened to like podcasts for like 3 years or
Who listens to
something like that.
those?
I know, right? um, Brad was like, "Hey, you should check this band out. I think you might like them." And I was like, "Okay, cool." They have a song called "This Head I Hold," and I
Put
was
that on
like,
my
"This
list.
is like good, like good." And
Okay.
so I listened to the rest of the record, and I was like, "Man, this is." I didn't know music could be like this, And it's not heavy metal. It's not, hip hop. It's not whatever like stuff I would normally go to.
Yeah.
Well, and I think sometimes it's time and place, right?
Yeah.
Like I had heard of Bon Iver. Like I was
Hmm.
aware of who Bon Iver was. I knew pieces of Bon Iver from like early Kanye records before I didn't hate Kanye. It was like 6 years ago, my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer and I was really going through it. And a friend of mine at work whose wife was going through breast cancer was like, "Hey, let me sing you this Bon Iver song that comforted me when I was going through that." And it was a song called Faith.
Yeah.
And like that was like, it was like, okay, I suddenly get why people love this artist. I just hadn't been listening to his music under the emotional circumstances that his
Yeah.
music is designed for. And that
Yeah.
was like the game change. Now it's like I have every one of his albums, but like
Hmm.
for 5 years prior, people would tell me about Bon Iver and I'd be like, I tried it, not for me. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so there are those moments.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And as for me, the same for Bon Iver, except for I have not gotten to the point where I like it yet. So.
Fair, fair.
But
Well, I hope that
I,
that you never have to, because apparently it involves a lot of pain and suffering to
okay,
get
well,
there.
yeah, just some
Just don't make
self-flagellation.
yeah, don't
Yeah.
don't make a mixtape, please. It's just Becky.
Yeah.
While we're talking about this, there's one last song on our newest album that I want to bring up. So
Yeah.
we had a really good conversation on our newest album episode about actually the movie History of the World Part 1.
Uh-huh.
And how I said like one of the most brilliant things that Mel Brooks did in that movie was depict the philosopher as a stand-up comic, because like that line of philosophy and comedy it's a very thin line that you walk a lot of the time. And
Yeah.
how as a kid, I just remembered, yeah, Five Iron's got those silly songs. And now when I look at a lot of those silly songs, they're still like, there is a deeper meaning to Blue Comb 86. There is a deeper meaning to Sucker Punch. And the one that jumped out at me this time was Superpowers, which
Yeah.
at its core is like a silly song about like, here's all the crazy things that happen when you're a band on the road. But like the fact that the lyric that gets repeated more than any other lyric in that song is I want it to be famous and now I want to take it back
Mhm.
doesn't feel accidental. Like, so I
Yeah.
have to ask, like, in your mind, because that's a song that I believe is still in the playlist and has basically never left the playlist for as long as Five Iron's been a band. Was there a feeling in that band of like that balance of like going from a band in a small local scene to like a world or at least a US touring band, and like a little bit of regret from that, or a little bit of like, did we bite off more than we can chew?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and to be fair, we're not that famous, like
No.
in the grand scheme of things, like we're just not. But I mean, if we're playing your town and I go out to eat, 2 hours before it's time to play, I'm most likely running into somebody who knows who I am and pays for my dinner.
Oh,
So
That's nice.
that's
yeah.
really sweet. Yeah.
So yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
we
Yeah. Cool. Don't do that. It makes me feel bad inside.
one of my so there's two things. One is a quote that I love that I've said before, which is the John Waters quote that he's the right level of famous because the only people that recognize him are people he wants to talk to, which
Yeah.
is like, I mean, that's what I strive for. But there's a rapper named Spose that your story just reminded me of, that he has a song called When I Was Broke.
Mhm.
And the song is about like going out to play a show and it's like a sold out show, and he goes to get food, and like a fan pays for the food, and like all these people are paying for stuff, and then the chorus is like, where was this shit when I was broke? And like the concept being like I'm good, like I can actually cover this stuff now, like why don't you instead like buy a meal for the person outside that's like cold and hungry? Like
Is that kind of the feeling that happens whenever like someone pays for your meal? It's like, oh, please, no.
I mean, part of it is they're probably doing better off than they were doing when they first heard of us.
Yeah.
So they feel like they can do that kind of thing, as opposed to like, oh, I'd love to pay for his his meal, but I want to also buy a T-shirt, which also affects me.
Yeah.
And I mean, the same is true for me. Like I'm doing better now financially than I was, when we first started the band, So I feel blessed enough that I can, help people around me as I see fit or, as needed or whatever. And I guess I just see that as a human thing, like you get to a point where you feel blessed, your cup runneth over, and you should not ignore the fact that your cup's running over and do some good things for people around you. And I'm not saying that, that pay for more of my dinners or anything like that. I'm saying do that everywhere you go. So
I also honestly, I wouldn't have believed this. I wouldn't have believed this as a kid or even as an adult who was a fan. But like as someone who's been podcasting for 20 years and has like absolutely ran into people who are a fan of the stuff that I do, just being told that is more than enough. Like buying the shirt or like buying the shirt or buying like a drink or whatever, like that's so like that's nice. It's a nice thing, but like just being told like, hey, the thing that you do isn't falling on deaf ears and it actually matters to somebody, like that's worth its weight in gold for me. Because all of us are in some way, whether it's music or podcasting or writing or filmmaking or whatever, we're like screaming into a void hoping to like hear that echo come back, you know what I mean? And like actually having that echo come back and say like, hey, what you've done affected me. Like, like I heard it, I felt it, like, and that's I think it's the only time I really got to talk to Reese, but I told him that I was like, dude, as a kid who was kind of inundated with Christian songs telling me that once I found Christ, my depression would go away. Like having an actual band that like still talked about like, no, sometimes like family members are going to die unexpectedly. And sometimes the world is going to seem like it's absolutely on fire and you're not going to know where God is in any of that. Like, that's okay. And you're still loved, even if you don't feel loved. Like that was the message I needed.
I feel like that's a message a lot of people need. And I'm so glad that to just be discovering everything now, even though, I mean, my band at the time when I should have been listening to this was KJ52. So let's just say this would have been better.
I feel like Jonah's not too bad. Like I feel like people like Jonah still. But
no, totally.
But yeah, I mean, listen, we won't shame any names, but there are definitely I've joked around about when I look at my collection of Christian music and then I hear random people from that time period talk about politics and then I look and I don't have their albums. I'm like, okay, I knew deep down even back then.
Yeah. I felt that same thing too, man. That's pretty weird. Like
you're just like, oh, there's a reason why I don't own any Skillet records.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that when I was 13, but like,
and they came up to us. They were fans of our music back in the day, which was really weird because I went to go look at their stuff and I was like, I'm not really into this at all. Like, and like personality wise, the same thing. It was like, I appreciate that you like our stuff, but like, I don't feel a kinship there. And it's one of those things I would never have said that to them, to their face or whatever, but it's just one of those things you feel. And
was there ever actually, now that I have a random memory of talking to Andy about this, not on the record, just having a conversation one time. Cause I'm a big fan of Harley Poe that used to be Calibretto 13. And he was like, I remember at one point Like he was saying, like at one point they may have like been a band that was optioned to Five Iron to tour with, and you guys kind of just like looked at the lyrics and were like, this is maybe a little bit too extreme for us, because Cabretta was out there. Like they were really, really out there and kind of aggressive. Was there a lot of vetting, not a lot of vetting process, but was that a factor when it came to like who was going on the tour? Like, you know,
no, I mean,
is this going to contradict our message if we bring this band too much?
Right. Funny. I don't know if it was as conscious as maybe it's probably more subconscious than anything, you know, like where we all had a group sense of like, nah, this is not the right fit, you know?
Yeah.
But then there's other bands that we did take on tour, and I still value their take on life, you know?
I mean,
like Switchfoot was one of those bands that we took out, you know, and I think they're great guys, you know. I need to talk to them. I haven't talked to them in a long time, but
I mean, John Foreman is, from every account I've heard, one of the nicest human beings you will ever encounter in your day-to-day life. Like, and like someone who has not let any of Switchfoot's success even remotely go to his head in the slightest. Like, he's still the dude who's going to wake up early in the morning, go surfing, and like take it easy. I mean, look, you guys were really good at picking openers. I've said before, the greatest show I ever attended, the best lineup I ever attended was Reliant K was your openers back then. They didn't even have an album yet. I think it was they were getting ready for their album. And then it was Soul Junk, Fillmore, the W's, and you guys. Like, that was a hell of a tour. And like, honestly, all of them I still listen to, because I think, like, especially like Soul Junk, the stuff that he gets into with his music sometimes is really like high level, like talk about philosopher level thinking in that. And it's like, on paper, this trip hop artist wouldn't make any sense playing with Five Iron, but when you look at it at a philosophical and lyrical content wise, it's like, how could you not? Were you one of the members that got to play with him? I know that he had like a backup band made up of some of
it. I was one of the guys.
How was that? How was it? Fun learning Soul Junk songs?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I was DJing for him, so.
Oh, that's right. I forget that you're the DJ on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you still do any of the DJing stuff? Do you miss it?
No. Yes, no, and yes. I don't really do it anymore. I have the stuff to do it. It's just the space to set up a system like that is, you know, it's basically your entire kitchen table.
Yeah.
And then the speakers that are, you know, behind it, you know, and then all the cables going everywhere, and which is pretty typical for my house anyways, but I try to keep that to a dull roar, you know. It's already borderline. Yeah, just like the edges of chaos, you know, everywhere. So
it absolutely has to drive you nuts as much as it drives me nuts when people try to undermine rap music as being something very simple to do. It's like, do you know how much work it goes into just like making a beat?
Right. What's funny is I was, you know, being growing up the metal kid or whatever, I was like, rap's not cool. Whatever. The first rap I ever heard that I liked was Push It by Salt and Pepper. But then like, you know, there was the whole like, your rap's crap and this and that, whatever. I was like, I'm gonna like, just to show how easy rap is, I'm going to write a rap. And so I did that. This was in high school. It's in one of my classes. I'm writing this rap, and I'm getting through. I'm like, this is fun. Like, this is actually really cool. Like, I can totally, I in my attempt to disprove it or whatever, to you know, as a valuable art,
admired the art form in doing so.
It was like, this is cool. Like, this is, and then going back and listening to legit, you know, raps, and be like, oh man, I totally hear what they're doing there. That's so cool. Like, it was just awesome. Like, it was.
I mean, Krista Makes from Less Than Jake has openly said that NWA Straight Outta Compton is more of a punk record than most of the records that come out labeled as punk. He's like that. He's like, that album is aggressive. It's scary at times. Like, it is a wild. And I would say the same thing with even like modern day, like Run the Jewels. Run the Jewels are two of the punkest dudes I've ever Or pick up a microphone.
Yeah.
Killer Mike and all of his shows are insane and so great. Is there a style of music that you've been getting into that you didn't expect to?
Ska.
Yeah, ska. Yeah. There's a few ska bands I like, but I'm not really. Overall, I don't know. I'm a sucker for like female fronted kind of wispy vocal music, which is
like a Billie Eilish type
yeah,
vibe.
like Billie Eilish will pop on. I'm like, I wonder if this is Billie Eilish, like in my it is, who knew? I like it.
Yeah.
So
no, that's been really making a resurgence, and I'm okay with all of it. All of like the Olivia Rodrigo, all of them. Give me all those whispery, poetic, female fronted pop songs.
From a real female, I guess, perspective, as opposed to like this is the personification of a female that I want.
The producer perspective.
Exactly.
The singer-songwriter that we've been missing since the 90s, essentially.
Totally. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Micah, I appreciate so much of your time to jump on here and talk. I guess the last thing I want to ask, and Katie, see if you can lock this in for a year from now.
Oh, boy.
But when we do next year's 5 Iron February, we're going to be kicking off with Quantity is Job 1. The EP, even though it's almost as long, if not slightly longer than some of the non-EP records, is there any context that Katie should have as a person who's really not familiar with your band going into that album? I've warned her about the These Are Not My Pants rock opera, and I warned her that there's definitely a song about the Denver riots and definitely a song about ska against racism. Yeah. But is there any context of like band stuff that was happening at that point, or? I know that's Scott's last album, right?
Yeah. There was a lot of like tension in that, but I don't know if the tension comes through in the writing process. So I don't know if that's even a worthy note, like.
Okay.
Because we recorded that, and I think we went on a tour down to New Zealand, and that was like the last time that we did stuff with Scott. So.
Until
yeah.
you came back. Yeah. Oh, I know. You know what? Here's a question. I wish I had asked Andy this, but I'm going to ask you, and I'll probably ask anyone else from the band that shows up for this. What is one 5 Iron Frenzy song that you guys don't play very often that in your heart you wish you played more often?
Ooh.
I mean, boy.
Just go through like 30 years of career and pinpoint the one song.
I'll say it only because not because it mentions me, but because so many fans have wished that we played the Where Is Micah song.
Really?
And
that's so great.
And it's mostly because the horn lines are just so hard. It's like super like, I mean, that it's very hard to pull off. If we did like a tour, we probably could get dialed in, enough to do it and stuff.
Because you guys are still doing like weekends, right? You have
just weekends, yeah. So practice as much as we can to get it up to a presentable level, and then.
All right.
But the
Comic-Con 2026.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, that'll be what Christian Cringe brings to Comic-Con is a 5 Iron
Frenzy. Whole concert.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, if you could put any bands together for like a crazy concert, who would you want?
It would probably be like the big four, of thrash metal. Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth, and Metallica. So.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
That's a solid lineup. We'll talk off the air about that a little bit.
Yeah. That's right.
I love talking thrash.
Cool.
Remember when James Cameron nearly directed a Spider-Man movie?
What about when we almost got Batman Year One with Joaquin Phoenix?
Or David Goyer's Flash movie that would have starred Ryan Reynolds?
Well, if you want to learn about all the unmade superhero movies, then check out Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
Hosted by Ben Wan and Alex Ramsey, every month we cover nostalgic superhero movies with deep dives into unmade scripts, early drafts, deleted scenes, alternate cuts, concept art, novelizations, and tie-in novels.
We also interview the people involved in making the superhero films of our childhood with our past guests including superhero actors, directors, screenwriters, and concept artists.
So remember, that's Superhero Stuff You Should Know or Superhero SYSK on social media. Check us out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.